says Rabbi Zino Shalom, that King David says in Tehillim chapter 109, he says, V'ani tefillah, I am a prayer. What does that mean? That means David HaMelech says, all the success I had, and all the good things I did, I know is bizchut my prayers that I did to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu helped me. And he says that the ultimate person who prayed was David HaMelech. We know that everybody uses his prayers that he wrote. And what does we see that David HaMelech's most popular prayer, most powerful prayer was? He says the famous words of Le David. He says, I ask one thing of Hashem. I should sit in the house of Hashem all the days of my life. To behold the pleasantness of Hashem, to visit in His sanctuary. So we see that the good King David is not just a Joe Schmo. He was a king. He had all the luxuries in the world. He could enjoy and have the most fun life, let's say, if he wanted to. And what does he ask? He says, all I desire in my life is to be in the house of Hashem, to be close to God, doing prayer and mitzvot. But interesting, he says, I want to vaker be'echalo. He says, I want to visit in His sanctuary. Why visit? A visit sounds like a tourist. Why would you want to be a tourist? You want to be Ben Bayit. You want to be someone who is a family member, no? So he says, the commentaries explain, he says, I never want to lose the kaif of being a tourist. A tourist is so excited the first time he's there. This, I like this, is new. Person who's always there, you get used to it. You ask a guy, no, who lives in Israel. Oh, wow, look at this. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's a kotel. Okay, no. Because it tells him, oh, you live in London. It's Big Ben. Yeah, it's Big Ben. Okay, Buckingham Palace. No, what's the big deal? He says, no, I want to always be in the house of Hashem like a tourist. Always exciting. It's like the first time. It's like everything is exciting. All the mitzvot are excited for me. So we should pray that we also should be like a visitor in the house of Hashem. Doesn't mean you shouldn't come so often like a visitor. It means be there every day. But you should feel like a visitor each time.
Certain respect also on the visitor.
Right.
Right. Go like to in the wild,
Sometimes husbands in the kitchen, they're like a visitor, like a tourist. I don't know where the plates are. Where are the plates? I'm never here. Right? But to be a visitor in the house of Hashem, and you know where everything is just to give the kavod, that's what he's asking. But the question is, there's so many things to ask for. There's health, and there's wealth, and there's refuah and so many things to pray for. And you're asking for one thing. The only thing you're asking is to sit in the house of Hashem. Why? So you have to realize that when you're sitting close to Hashem, they say like this. They say, when you ask for parnasah, included in the parnasah is jiz, is life. How can you get parnasah if you're not alive? Included in asking for parnasah is asking for a longer life also. So when a person asks to live in close to Hashem, it means automatically included in that is all the blessings that come. Imagine you're a servant of the king, so the servant also eats good food. The servant also sleeps in a good bed. The servant also gets all the amenities that the king's palace has. So really, all you have to ask for really is to be a servant of Hashem, to be close to Hashem, and automatically all the blessings come. And that's how it's supposed to be, because all those blessings we want. Why do we want those blessings? Why do we want refuah? Why do we want parnasah? Why do we want all this success? Because we all want to serve Hashem. That's the end of the day. It all leads to one goal. To sit in the house of Hashem. The Zohar says, woe is to the people who on Rosh Hashanah come and say, have, like a dog. The Zohar says. What does it mean? It says, Hashem, give. Imagine you go to a business deal and you're bargaining, right? You're making a negotiation. You make a deal now. It's Judgment Day. You're making a deal. He says, listen, I want to buy. I want you to give me this. And usually you say, well, you're going to offer. Okay, so what's your offer? Like, well, let's talk, But what do? You come to a business deal and you're saying, you're going to give me this, you're going to give me this, give me this, give me this. And that's it. You don't need to know my offer. Right? Just give it to me. What kind of business deal is that? So you come to Hashem, you go on Rosh Hashanah, Hashem says, okay, no, so I'm judging you. What do you promise? What are you offering? Why should I give you more? You say to Hashem, no, give me. Tefillah, parnasah, 10,000. Right, but what about the prayers? You're going to do it during the year, or what are you going to come and learn Torah during this year, or are you going to give tzedakah this year? Like, what's going to be with you? No, that's not important. The main thing is you give me Hashem. Have. So And the mashal that they explained over this is, imagine a guy, he goes and he's waiting in line. What is he waiting in line? The king made a big promise. The king said, on this day, it's my Rosh Dania, it's my birthday, I want to give a gift. Whoever comes in line to ask me for a favor, I'll do them a favor. Whatever you want, you come this hour, wait in line, I'll give you a favor. So giving out favors. Okay, everybody lines up, huge line till the main square, a 3-hour wait. And one guy comes late. Who's this guy? This guy, he reeks, he smells, nobody wants to be next to him. He looks like a nebuch, like a very, very unsuccessful person. And he's has sarat, he's a leper. And he has sores all over his body. Nobody wants to be next to him. He's tameh. So he comes and everybody doesn't want to stand in line next to him. And he says, excuse me, he goes and asks all the people, can I cut in the line? He says, yeah, just get out of here, just go. We don't want to be next to you. Go. Eventually, he cuts the whole line. He's the next person in line. And what happens? He comes up, and everybody's going to say, what is he going to ask for? I wonder. He's the guy who's like the most, nebuch. He probably needs the most help. He goes to the front of the line. He goes and speaks to the king. And what do you have to say for yourself? What would you like today on my birthday? He says, I ask of you only one thing. He says, no, you can ask anything in the world. I'll give it to you. He says, can you send somebody? I have an itch right here, over here. I couldn't get it the whole week. I couldn't get this itch on my back. Can you get somebody to scratch it for me, like for 5 minutes? That's all I ask of you. Everybody says, are you serious? He could have given you the best doctor. He could have given you a job. He could have given you $1 million. Who knows what he would have gave you? And you ask you for a back scratch. That's all you ask you for. So King David says, if you're going to ask, what you ask for? Just sit in the house of Hashem all your life. And what do people ask for? Hashem, make this deal work out. Hashem, make me, I should be able to buy that house. Hashem, make it that I be able to get this car. Hashem, be able to get a good grade in my test. You waiting in line. Hashem's right there speaking to you. Rosh Hashanah, Day of Judgment. You didn't give any offers. You didn't even ask to sit in the house of Hashem. You asked for a back scratch to make your life a little bit more comfortable. That's all you asked for. So therefore, we have to learn from King David that we should go and ask for what? I'll end off with the words of the Chidush Yarim. The Chidush Yarim, Yitzchak Meir, Alter, the grandfather of the Sat Emet, he says like this. He says that the Torah says that you got to put a hole in the ear of the slave who doesn't want to leave. The Jewish slave doesn't want to leave after 7 years. And the question is why? Oh, the ear that heard in Har Sinai, that you have to be a servant to Hashem. Why are you being a servant to another man? You already have enough mitzvot, now you add more mitzvot, now you make yourself another master. Okay, so bore a hole in the ear. But the question is, who becomes a Jewish slave? A Jew becomes a slave when either he stole, he can't pay back, or he sold himself as a slave. I understand the guy who had no choice, he stole, he had to become a slave, fine. But a guy who had no money, you lived 7 years, you figured it out, you survived for these 7 years by working as a slave. Go make your life. Why are you staying here? So therefore, I understand why you wouldn't want to stay. I don't have another job. What do you mean? Just like I started as a slave because I didn't have a job, now I still don't have a job. Why do you bore a hole in his ear? So says the Gemara, says the Chidush Rim. You know why? Because this guy, he should have realized that what? If being a servant to this guy, you're right, he gives you amenities. But if you're a servant to Hashem, Hashem also has to give you amenities. Meaning, what does the master have to do? You have one bed, you give it to the slave. You drink wine, you have to give the slave also wine. You have to provide for him everything. If you would have made yourself more of a servant of Hashem, Hashem would be your master and he has to provide for you. So therefore, you bore a hole in his ear to remind him, don't think he's your master. Remember, he's your master and he will provide for you. Baruch Ma'olam.